Coming up on this portion of the journey, I work my way through the rest of Colorado and all the way through Nebraska with several stops along the way, including Scotts Bluff National Monument, Lincoln, and Omaha, Nebraska. In addition to, as always, lots of hiking and free dispersed camping. Enjoy. Right, I'm back on the road. It's Thursday, August 12th. Just got some groceries and something to eat. And I'm still in Fort Collins at the moment. I am going to leave Fort Collins, but I'm on my way out. I'm going to try to find a nice short hike to do. I got one pinned on the map, so I'm going to go check that out. It should be just a few minutes away from here. And then I'm going to head out to some Grassland public camping that's a couple hours away from Fort Collins, which, by the way, Fort Collins is absolutely stunning. I can see why my sister and her husband live here, and I can see why my parents are moving here. It's quite a lovely little town, so if you are in the area and haven't come, I suggest coming to check it out. Really nice place. All right, good little hike. That's Duncan Ridge Trail. It's only about a half mile out and back each way, and just straight up, but nice to see the views of Fort Collins, which I'm looking at now, and also the views of the reservoir just outside of Fort Collins. So nice little exercise, but now I'm heading a couple hours to head towards where I'm going to camp for night, which is the Pawnee National Grasslands, which is an open prairie that's free for dispersed camping. So got about a couple hours on the road, and should get there around mid-afternoon. All right, so I'm out in the Pawnee Buttes in the Pawnee National Grassland area, and it took me about a couple hours to get out here. There's a couple other people that I saw out in this area. The main issue is going to be the wind. I knew that going in. All the reviews on iOverlander said that this area was windy, and it is. And so my plan is to just pop the tent up and hang out up there till the sun goes down. And if the wind hasn't gotten any better, then for the first time in a long time, I might have to sleep in the car if the wind's that bad. There's just no way I'll be able to sleep in the tent. So we'll just deal with it when it comes. But otherwise, really nice views of the buttes and good cell service and internet service. So I'm a happy boy. Just gonna make something to eat and kick back in the tent for a while. It's a little after 7 a.m. on Friday the 13th of August. Slept pretty well last night. The wind kind of abated and didn't pick up till just a few minutes ago. It started to blow again, but I was able to sleep up here in the tent just fine. And I was serenaded awake this morning by some cows grazing, and I'm glad that they woke me up because I got to see a beautiful sunrise. So all is well. Anyway, today I'm gonna make some coffee and then break camp here in about 30 minutes and head into Nebraska, a state I've never been to before. And there's a couple of different rock formations that I'm going to visit. I think it's called Scott's Bluff and then Chimney Rock. So that's the plan for today.
Welcome to Nebraska.
Right, so it's a little bit after 9:30 and I made it to Scott's Bluff National Monument after about a couple-hour drive. And the weather has cleared up. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's about 70 degrees and sunny. And this place is absolutely beautiful. It's kind of a hidden gem. There's not much foot traffic here. And basically the only thing to do in the monument, as it were, is to just either drive up to the top or hike up. And so after a couple hours of sitting in the car, I want to stretch my legs. So I'm going to do, it looks like it's about a couple miles up to the top at the north overlook. So I'm going to do that one. All right, so I made it to the end of the trail and I'm on the top of Scott's Bluff. Behind me is the North Platte River, which alongside of it in the 1800s would have been where the Oregon Trail and Mormon Trail would have gone by. So beautiful area, gorgeous day, and a good bit of history as well. So I'm really glad that I made the trip out here, and I can believe as I'm talking, as I see out in the distance, I'm pretty sure that's Chimney Rock, which is about 20 miles away, which is my next stop after this monument. All right, just leaving the Chimney Rock area now. I ended up bailing on the actual museum because they wanted $8 to get in there, and it's not part of the national park system. So I just stuck around, took some pictures, and I just got done having a look at some of the monument area where it gave you some of the history of Chimney Rock, which was really cool. It's actually this whole route where I'm on right now is basically remnants of what was the Oregon Trail. So it's kind of cool to be out in the area where so many flocked towards the west along that famous trail, and the video game that I played growing up as a kid. So anyway, now a quick unscheduled stop. I'm going to go to Carhenge, which is about an hour from here, which is a giant replica of the original Stonehenge using cars. So I have seen the original Stonehenge, and so I felt like since I'm this near to Carhenge, got to do it. So that's where I'm heading. All right, so there it is behind me, Carhenge, out in the middle of nowhere in Alliance, Nebraska. It said that it was an engineer who spent 7 years in England, wanted to recreate it and call it Stonehenge of the West. And the thing that was most available to him was dead cars, so that's what he used. And now it's just a free tourist attraction. From here, I got about an hour. I'm going up to Nebraska National Forest and just going to look for a place to camp for the night. All right, so this is me for tonight. I'm in the Nebraska National Forest, and I'm off of the quote-unquote main National Forest road that runs through, and about a mile or so off of that, and I'm kind of up on a grassy bluff that's surrounded by trees. It's kind of nice. It's actually the Nebraska National Forest and grassland, so it's a really nice mix of the two. The thing that just made me nervous about this spot is the insect noise. Not sure if you can hear it. It seems to be dying down, so I don't think they're going to keep it up all night. So should be nice and peaceful. I've been here for a few hours and haven't had a single car go by, so I'm looking forward to a nice sleep. Got my solar shower bag down there cooking, so I'm going to grab a shower, make some rice, have some dinner, and call it a day. All right, it's about 7 a.m. on Saturday, August 14th, and I'm heading into town to get some gas because I'm very low. And then there's about a couple hours drive to get to a quarter-mile bridge that is along what's called the Cowboy Trail, and that's an old, moribund and defunct railroad that was converted into a over 300-mile trail, and it's one of the longest of those. And this bridge is supposed to be really picturesque and beautiful, so I'm gonna go check that out, and that's my first stop today. All right, it's about midday, and I've made it to the Cowboy Trail in Valentine, Nebraska. And again, this is a 300-plus mile former railroad track that's been converted into a hiking, biking, and jogging trail. And so that's what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna try to get a couple mile jog in. Just behind me is the famed quarter-mile pedestrian bridge that I'll make sure to get some footage of along the way. All right, that was a pretty cool experience, except that it's over 90 degrees out, and so I'm sweating like crazy right now. But anyway, I'm gonna go and have some lunch at a park near here. And while I was in Fort Collins, I kind of got into playing disc golf, and there's a course that's at a city park. So I'm gonna go try to find that park, have some lunch, and play around at disc golf. All right, so I'm making my way around the course. It's going predictably as bad as I thought it would. I'm 7 over through 5 holes, which, if you're not familiar with this game, that's terrible. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can straighten out now and get my first par. So, just ready to start hole number 6. Right, it's a little after 7 on Sunday, August 15th, and I looked at the map. I'm kind of really right in the center of Nebraska, and today I'm heading down to Lincoln, Nebraska to take a tour of the state capitol building, which is supposed to be really nice, and I'd like to also see the Nebraska Cornhusker football stadium. And then I'm heading to Omaha because there's a 5 p.m. first pitch for the Omaha Storm Chasers, which is the minor league baseball team there. And I haven't seen a baseball game since I've been on the road, so I'm looking forward to it. So I got about 3 or 4 hours, I think, of driving to get to Lincoln, so I'm gonna get on it. it's getting on about noon, and I'm just outside of the Nebraska football stadium and the Tom Osborne training center in that direction. So just finishing up lunch and gonna go have a walk around the stadium. So it's just after 1 o'clock, and the next tour, according to the internet, is supposed to start at 2. So you can see the building behind me, and I'm just out in the lawn outside the Capitol building. I'm just gonna read for a little bit until 2 o'clock. Just finished up the tour. This building is amazing. So I know not many people watching this have Lincoln, Nebraska high up on their list of places they want to visit, but I definitely think if you do happen to find yourself here, a visit to the state capitol is definitely worth the time. The architecture is amazing, the artwork on the interior is amazing, the tour was amazing. She was really knowledgeable about all of the timelines and people involved, and the whole story is really great. So highly recommend it. Glad that I made the stop over in Lincoln to check it out. And now I'm going to head up to Omaha and try to catch that baseball game.
Home run. Have a score chase I think a home run tonight. Mark is going home with $20 in scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery. Mark?
All right, I'm in the park, out here in the cheap seats on the lawn, just outside beyond the left field fence. Feeling like for sure going to catch a home run ball tonight. Got about 15 minutes till first pitch. Okay, it's Monday, August 16th, around 7 a.m. Had a nice sleep at this Cabela's last night. There's a handful of other trucks and trailers out here, and relatively quiet. And this morning I'm heading out to a trail run that's about 3 miles around a lake that's near here. And then I'm gonna head into Omaha and try to find a good coffee shop, get a cup of coffee. Right, so it's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and just got done with a couple hours of a nice coffee and reading session at a place called the Table Coffee House, which is in a really nice area of Omaha called Old Market, and really nice brick-lined streets and a lot of shops and restaurants and stuff. So really cool area. And that's actually the end of my time in the state of Nebraska, which far exceeded my expectations. When you think about places that you want to go see, states you want to go visit, Nebraska for whatever reason really isn't at the top of the list, but really I'm happy that I made the time. So anyway, that's it for the state of Nebraska, and now I'm going to turn the cameras off, go see a family friend tonight, and then tomorrow I will resume activities in the state of Minnesota. So thank you for watching.